Hello, this is a video about XML, Extensible Markup Language. This is what we're going to do. We're going to look at what is XML, how is it used, and how does it work. We'll start out with a quiz. What do the following terms mean? Kelley School of Business, www.iub.edu, and 7.5. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Well, do you give up? Well, now you could probably answer those questions. If we mark up this data with tags, then they'll have meaning. For example, Kelley School of Business is a school. www.iub.edu is the URL for Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana. And then 7.5 is my shoe size. The point is that these terms now have meaning, and the meaning is given by the markups, which are also known as tags. There's a beginning tag to the left of each term, and there is an ending tag to the right of each term. And then the term in the middle is what we call content. This is an example of XML, Extensible Markup Language. And a markup language consists of markup or tags and content. It's human readable and computer readable. And it is defined by the World Wide Web Consortium. It is open source, meaning it's free with no fees. There's a simple syntax or structure to it. And it's extensible, meaning there are no predefined tags like HTML, and you can invent your own tag names. XML is designed for simplicity, generality, and usability over the internet. It's designed to transport and store data, meaning text, video, images, audio, messages, and so on. It's usable over the internet by any enabled software. And it is important to remember it's not designed to display data, unlike HTML. XML is a meta language. It's basically a set of rules and syntax for creating other languages. For example, RSS is for web feeds. SOAP is used for web services and computer networks. UBL is a library of standard business documents like purchase orders and invoices, and XBRL is for reporting financial data. The basic structure of an XML document is the element, and the element has a beginning tag and an ending tag, which is the markup. The element has content, which can be numeric text, a file name, URL, and so on. The structure of an element starts with the beginning tag that contains the element name, the element content, and then the ending tag. For example, there's two tagged elements down at the bottom of the slide. One is for first name, and my first name is Joyce, and then the second is for the last name, and my last name is Buyer. There are three exceptions to the structure of an element, and they are empty elements, comments, and the first line of an XML file. The first example, nickname has no ending tag, is an empty element, and you can tell it's an empty element because it has a slash at the very end. This is a single tag. There is no content and there is no ending tag. The example in the middle is a comment, and a comment can be identified by the exclamation point with the two hyphens beside it. And this is human readable. It's not processed by a computer or a program or anything. This is just information for people who are reading the XML file. And then the third example is what would appear as a declaration statement at the very beginning of an XML document. And this identifies the XML version and the character set that's used in the file. Let's take a look at element names or tag names. There are a few rules for this. The tag name must start with a letter or an underscore, then followed by any combination of letters, numbers, underscores, dashes, and periods. You can't have spaces or special characters in a tag name. Tag names are case sensitive, and the beginning and the ending tags must match exactly with the ending tag having that extra slash in the front of it. The element content can be numbers, that can be text. It can also contain spaces, upper and lowercase characters, and even special characters. Content can also be another element, and we call this a nested element. In a nested set of elements, the outside element is considered the parent of the inside elements, which are the children elements. And I've got an example here. The person name element is the parent, and then the first name and the last name elements are the children elements. There's no limit on the depth of the nested hierarchy, so a child element can have children and grandchildren of its own. However, an element by itself can only have one parent, one grandparent, and so on. The inner elements tags must be closed before the outer elements tags are closed. This is a little confusing, so I'll show you with an example. The example on the top has the last name element sitting by itself, and it doesn't have a closing tag, so this would be an error in the structure of this nested element. The bottom example shows where the person name tag is overlapping with the last name tag. The last name should be closed before we have the ending tag for the person name. Let's look at a very simple XML document. Every XML document or file should begin by declaring the character set and the version number of the document. And every document must have a root element, which follows the declaration statement. And there can only be one root element in an XML document. So in our example here, we have our declaration, then we have our beginning root element, and then our ending tag for the ending root element. And everything inside is the content of the file. Another term is attributes. Elements may have additional information associated with them that's not part of the content, and these additional pieces of information are called attributes, and the attribute values are in double quotes. In the example that I have here, I have two attributes for the person name. One is pix and the other is degree, and you'll notice again that the values themselves have double quotes around them, and you can have special characters, spaces, anything inside those double quotes. There's no specific order for the attributes. A well-formed XML document satisfies all the syntax rules, including tag names, which are case sensitive, with no special characters or spaces in the names. Beginning and ending tags match exactly, and then we talked about the three exceptions, the empty elements, comments, and declarations. There's got to be a single root element to the file. There should be a correct nesting structure with no overlapping or missing tags, and then the correct use of attributes in the beginning tags. To summarize, let's take a look at what XML is and is not. XML is a set of rules for creating documents electronically. It's fee-free with open standards for tagging. It's used to deliver and store meaningful data over the internet. XML is not a program language. It's not used for showing how data is displayed, which is what HTML does. And it is not tightly controlled with predefined tags.